What's up, Lasercast fans? This is Danny, DrZaiusGoD on Twitter, and I'm here, of course, with Pete, Anchor Pete, and we are going to be talking about the trailer for Amazon Prime's new series, Them.
Yeah, okay. So, first off, it looks beautiful, okay? It is, like, super well shot. I had no idea what this was about at first. Like, Sherry sent me a message on Twitter, and she's like, hey, you should check out this trailer. I did. She said it was a horror thing, so I'm okay. Where's the catch? Where's it going to get scary? And it starts out, it's real beautiful. It's got this retro kind of 50s look, well shot, and it just gets creepier and creepier as it goes on. And to me, it kind of reminded me of a show that we're reviewing right now on our channel, Lovecraft Country. And I think that, like, when you and I talk about this, if we do enjoy it, I think we should just do like little blocks of it where it's like, you know, maybe we'll do the first 3 episodes, then we'll do the next 3 episodes. So I am excited. I don't really know a lot about the people behind the scenes. Do you know anything about the creators?
Yeah, so it's created by Lena Waithe and Little Marvin. Now, I got to be honest, I don't know anything about Little Marvin, but Lena Waithe is a big-time star. She is the first African-American woman to win a writing Emmy. She was a star and a writer on Master of None. That was Aziz Ansari's show, which was great. She also created the show The Chai, and she wrote the film Queen and Slim. She's phenomenal. She's funny. She's charismatic. She's a big-time star. So when I saw that it was her who created this, it piqued my interest right away. Also, I'm looking at the trailer and I'm like, that girl looks so familiar. And then I looked up who plays the daughter on the show. There's 2 daughters. And her name, according to IMDb, is Ruby, is Shahadi Wright Joseph, who was the daughter in Us. And I was like, oh, because this trailer, you mentioned Lovecraft Country, it also reminded me a lot of both of Jordan Peele's films. There's a scene in the trailer where I was like, that reminds me of Get Out. And then there was a couple other scenes where I was like, that reminds me of Us. And maybe it doesn't remind me of Us, and I'm just looking at her and picturing her in Us.
Yeah.
Because she played a double role in Us, and she was fantastic.
Yes.
It's about a black family that moves into an all-white neighborhood. And yeah, it's very 50s looking. And I thought, oh, this takes place in the South. According to IMDb, it's LA. Which, which I was kind of shocked by. I didn't realize. But man, I watched that trailer 3-4 times. I watched it once just straight through to absorb it. And then I literally, like, with my Roku remote, I was like pausing it every minute to see what I could catch. And there's a lot of creepy stuff in there. According to IMDb, it's the Emery family. The matriarch is played by Deborah Ayerinde. Husband Henry, played by Ashley Thomas. And these are mostly veteran TV stars. Deborah Ayerinde was in Luke Cage. She also had she was also in a few episodes of True Detective. So these are like veteran TV stars. Also, Ryan Quanten is in it. He was, of course, in True Blood, so he's got some horror cred. He plays
the brother. Suki's brother. Yeah. He's good. I like him.
Yeah, he was also in Dead Silence, which was a cool little movie about like the ventriloquist doll.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen that. I know what you're talking about though. And then like a weird thing, he was in like a little like 20-minute movie that was like a Venom movie where he became Venom. Yeah. It was like a little YouTube video. I have no idea, but I like him. I liked him as Suki's brother. I can't remember. I think it's Jason Stackhouse.
Jason.
Yeah. So I mean, dude, you're right on the money by like comparing it to Us and then Lovecraft Country too. Like, and you said this before we started recording that like right now, racism and horror, that's like a big thing right now. And of course it reflects our world. Like, you know, as a history teacher, I'm sure that you make comparisons between like, this is what was going on in history and this is what the movies were like, right? We'll look back at this time period and they will say, you know, it was a very tough time for America. Like racial tensions were at an all-time high, and our movies reflect that. And this trailer for example, there's a lot of scenes where you have people look like they're from like the Stepford Wives, and they are just staring at our protagonists in their house, right? There's one scene where they're like one of the characters, maybe the daughter or the mom, is like looking out the window, and there's just like a row of people
in
like,
lawn chairs. Yeah, that reminded me of the scene in Get Out where Chris goes for a walk in the woods with his girlfriend, with Rose, and they have the scene in the backyard where they hold the auction, and all the old white people are dressed up and just sitting in lawn chairs, holding up signs. And I'm like, that's creepy as hell. Yeah. And then there's all this supernatural stuff on top of it. I paused it after the letter T in the trailer, and you get like a glimpse of this, what looks to be a Signs-esque alien being.
Really?
Yeah. And
I
then
did not see that.
Did you see that tall man who looks like a blind preacher?
Well, there's the guy at the very end. You're not talking about him, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's a whole thing unto itself to talk about.
The hair on my arm stood up when he started rambling on at the end.
Yep. Like a minstrel show. Yeah. I didn't see this alien looking thing, and then like I didn't see the. I mean, I have to look closer at these things. What
I held it. I held the remote, and I'm pressing like pause, unpause, pause, unpause, and I'm like, ha! I got it.
Nice.
It's like the scene in Signs when like you would watch it on video and you'd like pause it to get that alien right in the middle of the shot.
Right, the frame. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, what stood out without pausing it is like obviously the guy at the very end. But then, like, the little girl, when she gets pulled into the closet, I'm like, what's going on there? And then an actress that stood out, too, is Alison Pill.
Alison Pill.
Okay, right. So then you recognize her. I recognized her from Scott Pilgrim versus the World, right? She's the drummer, right? But then also, she was just on Star Trek Picard.
I saw that on IMDb.
Yeah.
I know her as Maggie from Newsroom.
Okay, yeah, right. She's on that too. Right. So she looks like she might be one of these kind of Stepford type characters too. Okay. And it's interesting too because there's a scene where she's like pouring milk, and there was one other scene where there's someone like the daughter from Us. She had her hand in it looked like her hand was covered in milk or some kind of white substance. So there's definitely the idea of like being covered in whiteness or like white, and obviously that's playing into the racial tensions too. Like, why don't we jump to the guy at the end of the trailer and talk about him, because that's obviously the sort of standout moment, right?
Yeah. There's this, as you said, this a guy he's got like blackface on, and he's like doing this like minstrel show, but he also he reminded me of every portrayal I've ever seen of Baron Samedi in a film. Baron Samedi is like a very famous voodoo priest from like the Louisiana. That character's been in like a million movies, including a James Bond movie. There's a James Bond film in that covers New Orleans, and that he reminded me of that. But he also, the way he moves, and he's singing the song that's in the trailer, which is like the hair on my arm stood up. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna watch this show. Enough of you.
Yeah.
There's also that scene where you see a man run to the glass and bang on the glass.
Yeah.
And his skin looks like it's melting off or burning, and there's smoke in the background. So you don't know if the building's on fire or what's going on.
Yeah.
The only other thing I wanted to mention, because I got super excited, I started looking up all the directors of the 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Ty West directed 2 of the episodes, including the finale. Ty West is an awesome horror movie director who since like 2013 has been almost exclusively working in television, occasionally in horror stuff on TV. But he did The House of the Devil, one of my favorite movies, The Sacrament, one of the best found footage films you'll ever see, The Innkeepers, which I know our old friend Chris, that was one of his favorite movies, great little ghost story. He's a phenomenal horror director, and he's doing 2 episodes, episodes 7 and 10, which is the finale of, I don't know, season 1 or just the finale if it's a 1 season thing.
Yeah.
But that made me even more excited, between Lena Waithe being one of the 2 main creators, and between Ty West being one of the feature directors. yeah, I'm really excited for this series.
Dude, yeah, me too, man. Yeah. You mentioned like, oh, is it going to be the end of the show or the end of the season? I saw that it's like an anthology show, so I'm assuming it's going to be kind of like American Horror Story, where they might use the same actors and stuff, but it'll be a totally different story next time, or like Channel Zero too. So,
Yeah,
because this one's called Them, and then it's like : Covenant.
Oh, okay. I noticed that there's on the episode list on IMDb, Covenant 1, Covenant 2.
Right.
The word covenant comes up time after time. So okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm down for it. If it lives up to this trailer, I am down for it.
You're sold. Yeah. Nice. All right, cool. Well, that was a fun little discussion. Guys, once we get these up, like with these episodes, we want you guys to be there with us, commenting. We want to know what you guys think of the show. Tell us what you thought about this trailer in the comments below, too. We want to know what you guys think, too. But until then, me and Daniel see you guys next time.